Hi, I'm Gerardo. I'm here with the Mass readings for Saturday, February 10th, 2018. Today we celebrate the memorial of Saint Scholastica, Virgin, from the Lectionary 334. The first reading is from 1 Kings chapter 12. Jeroboam thought to himself, "The kingdom will return to David's house, if now this people go up to offer sacrifices in the temple of the Lord in Jerusalem. The hearts of the people will return to their master, Rehoboam, king of Judah, and they will kill me." After taking counsel, the king made 2 calves of gold and said to the people, "You have been going to Jerusalem long enough. Here is your God, O Israel, who brought you up from the land of Egypt." And he put one in Bethel, the other in Dan. This led to sin, because the people frequented those calves in Bethel and in Dan. He also built temples on the high places and made priests from among the people who were not Levites. Jeroboam established a feast in the 8th month, on the 15th day of the month, to duplicate in Bethel the pilgrimage feast of Judah, with sacrifices to the calves he had made. And he stationed in Bethel priests of the high places he had built. Jeroboam did not give up his evil ways after this, but again made priests for the high places from among the common people. Whoever desired it was consecrated and became a priest of the high places. This was a sin on the part of the house of Jeroboam, for which it was to be cut off and destroyed from the earth. The word of the Lord. The responsorial psalm. Today's responsorial psalm is Psalm 106. The response is, "Remember us, O Lord, as you favor your people. Remember us, O Lord, as you favor your people. We have sinned, we and our fathers. We have committed crimes. We have done wrong. Our fathers in Egypt considered not your wonders. Remember us, O Lord, as you favor your people. They made a calf in Horeb and adored a molten image. They exchanged their glory for the image of a grass-eating bullock. Remember us, O Lord, as you favor your people. They forgot the God who had saved them, who had done great deeds in Egypt, wondrous deeds in the land of Ham, terrible things at the Red Sea. Remember us, O Lord, as you favor your people." Today's Gospel is the Gospel according to St. Mark, chapter 8, verses 1 to 10. In those days, when there again was a great crowd without anything to eat, Jesus summoned the disciples and said, "My heart is moved with pity for the crowd, because they have been with me now for 3 days and have nothing to eat. If I send them away hungry to their homes, they will collapse on the way, and some of them have come a great distance." His disciples answered him, "Where can anyone get enough bread to satisfy them here in this deserted place?" Still, he asked them, "How many loaves do you have?" They replied, 7. He ordered the crowd to sit down on the ground. Then, taking the 7 loaves, he gave thanks, broke them, and gave them to the disciples to distribute. And they distributed them to the crowd. They also had a few fish. He said the blessing over them and ordered them distributed also. They ate and were satisfied. They picked up the fragments left over, 7 baskets. There were about 4,000 people. He dismissed the crowd and got into the boat with his disciples and came to the region of Dalmanutha. The Gospel of the Lord. Here are some thoughts on today's scripture. Today we have the second of the 2 multiplication stories found in Mark. The first, with 5,000 people, was in a predominantly Jewish area, while this one, with 4,000 people, is mainly in Gentile territory. Jesus is reaching out to both groups. The people have nothing to eat and are hungry. The meaning is both physical and spiritual. Once again, we see Mark indicating the emotional response of Jesus. He is filled with compassion for the people in their need. I feel compassion for all these people. If I send them off home hungry, they will collapse on the way. Some have come a great distance. They will collapse on the way, on the road. Jesus is the way, the road. To walk the road of Jesus, we need a certain kind of nourishment. This is what Jesus came to give. The disciples, interpreting Jesus literally, as they usually do, ask, "Where could anyone get bread to feed these people in a deserted place like this?" In the presence of Jesus, the question answers itself, but the disciples have not yet clicked. In Mark's gospel, they are often shown to be without an understanding of just who their master is. That is because they represent us. The disciples are asked what they can supply. 7 loaves and a few fish is all they have. There's a strong Eucharistic element in this, as in the former story. The people are told to sit down. He took the 7 loaves, and after giving thanks, Eucharistias in the Greek, he broke them and handed them to the disciples to distribute, and they distributed them among the crowd. Again, we note that Jesus himself does not give out the food the people need. It comes from him, but is distributed by his disciples. The same as today. It is our task to feed the hungry, both physically and spiritually. All were filled, 4,000 people all together. And even so, there were 7, a perfect number, of baskets left over, a sign of God's abundance shared with his people. Thanks for listening. Have a blessed day.